You're now tuning into
The Cover Gang.
What's going on, Cover Gang? It is me and my co-host Justin Frith, and we are here to give you our picks against the spread on the primetime games, all the ones past 4 o'clock Eastern time, pretty much. So the 4:05s, the 4:25s, the Sunday night game, and the Monday night game. Justin will read off the first game. I'll give my opinion. He'll give his. See which ones we align on. See which ones we don't.
First up, we got the Packers at the Bears. What a famous matchup. And this one, man, I'm going to start off with my points. I got the Packers that I'm taking the spread on. Packers is going to be the defense is going to be the difference maker here. The Bears was one of the worst defense last year, and I expect it to not be much different than that based on their acquisitions. They tried to give Justin Fields some weapons, but I don't think they improved their defense really at all. But Bears historically lose a lot against the Packers. They're also 12-28 in the last 20 years against the spread versus the Packers. And Bears are one of the public hype teams that we talked about. And so I love the Pack to cover here, +1, or I think it's moved up to +1.5. Or if you prefer the money line, I'm fine with that too. But it's one of my bigger bets. I got 2 units on this one because I think people are forgetting that the Packers didn't change much. They were a solid team, and they lost a toxic quarterback situation with Aaron. The chemistry was just off. And at this point, he was bringing the team down. Now they can just really focus on letting Jordan Love try to game manage and get back to letting that running back duo shine and just lean on that defense a bit. So I got the Pack in this one.
Yeah, okay. I agree with you. I am taking the Packers as well, the +1.5, but this is one of the games I dislike the most just because of lack of knowledge. I will be putting some money on it, but I will not be. It's not one of the games that I'm doubling down on like you are. It'll be maybe like a half unit size, just because we don't know. Like, what do we know? We don't know how Eberflus and all these new weapons for Justin Fields is going to work out. We don't know anything about Jordan Love. He looked good in preseason, but he never got pressured, which he probably won't get pressured much against this Bears defense either. But it could be, it's a divisional game. The teams know each other. The coaching staffs know each other. It's the same head coaches from last year. But I will take LaFleur and the better defense in this one, and hope that Jordan Love can game manage to at least cover the spread, if not win the game, which he's pretty much going to have to do at 1.5. So, like I said, not one I love, but I'm fine taking Packers +1.5 here.
Next up, we got the Eagles at the Patriots, and this is one of your favorite bets, I would assume, right, Tyler?
It's not one of my favorites. I'm betting about a normal amount on it. Reason being is because it's Tom Brady's retirement ceremony with the Patriots, so I'm tuning in just for that as a big Brady fan.
Of course you are.
But so it's a bad spot for the Eagles. I am taking Patriots +4 here, but Belichick has struggled against running quarterbacks in the past, so I don't like that aspect of it. But like I said, I just think it's a tough place for the Eagles to come in. All the emotion with Brady and what he's done for that organization. And then they switched offensive and defensive coordinators, so I think that's going to take some time to actually get implemented and put in place. So I'm taking the Pats here. I feel pretty good about it. Like I said, normal unit size, but the only thing that worries me is Belichick has struggled some against running quarterbacks, and obviously Jalen Hurts is not going to stay in the pocket all night,
right,
or all day.
Fair points. I loved this one when it was at 5.5. I thought the Sharps got the best of that number. I thought it was pretty juicy right there. +4 is not as tasty to me, but this one had some heavy reverse line movement, and basically what that is the public is coming in heavily on one side, but the line is adjusting, like Vegas is receiving too many bets on the other team. So 80% of the bets are on the Eagles, but the line is coming down on the Patriots side. Like, people are big money is taking the Patriots. So this was one of those games that did that pretty heavily, and usually that means the Patriots is the sharp side, and that's the side we're on. So I'm taking +4. I would take +5.5 if you locked it in. More power to you.
Yeah, +4. I still like it. Like I said, it's a sharp side for sure.
Next up, we got the Rams at the Seahawks. Tough matchup, another division rival game. No Cooper Kupp.
This this makes no sense to me. So it Cooper Cup is out. Seattle's not had any news from camp that I've heard of today, and this line is dropping heavily.
Point
It
and a
was
half.
it's went from Rams plus 5.5 to now Rams plus 4, so Seattle minus 4. I liked Seattle honestly at minus 5.5 because I think it's going to be a high scoring game, and I just don't think that the Rams. I don't know how they're going to score, and I don't know
Without
how they're
Cooper
going to stop
Cup.
this Seattle defense.
Yeah.
So the I'm switching it from I really liked Seattle, but like now it seems like Vegas and the Sharps know something that I don't know. So it's about a normal unit size for me, a normal amount that I would put on a game. So I'm taking Seattle minus 4. I'm glad it's moving in my favor. It's just scaring me because I don't know why.
It's definitely mysterious line movement, especially after the Cooper Cup is definitely ruled out, and then it goes in the Rams' favor as far as Vegas adjusting their line. That's kind of
I mean, what is it? The third receiver for Seattle, like he's out. That's not
yeah.
going to shift it a point and a half.
He was they officially ruled him out, but he was questionable for a while. So yeah,
But that's not
that's
going to shift it a point and a half. Like,
no,
what's going
definitely
on
not.
here?
No, and that is something to be concerned about. But I still think maybe it's just Sean McVay, maybe it's just home opener.
It's
I'm not sure what would cause that line movement like that,
it's
but
hard to play in Seattle. I know it's
yeah.
a divisional game, but like everybody's seen what Sean McVay plays no starters during preseason, but still, like they just they can't stop anybody. And without Cooper Cup, like who are they going to be throwing the ball to? The offensive line is weak. It's just this Rams team is it's going to be bad this year, and for it to go from 5.5 to 4 without me knowing, it's shocking to me. So it scared me from I went from doubling down at like 5.5 to like okay, I'm just gonna do a normal unit size here at minus 4 because like something's up and I don't know
Something
what it
fishy
is.
in the water. It is a very intriguing line movement, but I think the side is still the Seahawks minus 4. I don't.
Yep.
Let's see why if they cover, like the Rams just cover straight up or win outright, then we knew something was in the water and we should have just not taken the bait on the Seahawks. But
Right.
next up, we got the Raiders at the Broncos. Where you at on this one, man?
Same thing. That was the other game I was talking about. I don't know what is going on.
Well, it's
Tim Patrick's been out. Jerry Judy, he has the hamstring. Is he like officially out now, or is Vegas thinking that he's definitely going to be out?
I think it's more just this one has moved slower. It wasn't as sudden. It's been kind of trickling down on
Went
the
from
people
4
taking the
to
Raiders side, but
it's went from 4 to 3.5 now down to 3. So I am taking. I'm only taking a few favorites, but I am taking Broncos minus 3 here. But same thing. It was like at 3.5. I didn't love this game anyways because I'm just taking Sean Payton versus Josh McDaniels here. Raiders having to go up in altitude to Denver. Uh, I think Sean Payton's trying to make a statement game here, but like I said, I just don't understand the line movement really. So uh, I'm taking the favorite home team. Like I said, it's same thing with the Rams Seahawks. Something's a little fishy.
yeah, the Broncos really have to. This is like a division statement game, especially Sean Payton is talking, as big as he has in the division. He's got to make a statement right here, and I think even with the fishy line movement, the odd thing that I noticed too is that the Raiders are getting the higher bet percentage as the road dog, and everything that I know about the Raiders is that they're trash. So I don't know why. It just seems to me like
So
Sean
the
Payton,
public and Joes and pros are moving
but
in
but
on Raiders.
barely. Like it's like 50, higher 55%, something like that is coming in on the road dog, which is just that is shocking to me. Is the public really soured that bad on the Broncos even with Sean Payton?
I think so. I think so. I
Yeah,
was I
I
was
can't
last
get
year. I
with
told you
that.
last
Yeah.
year, last 5 weeks, I was like, I don't care what if the spread's 25. I'm not picking Denver. Like they burnt me so many times, me believing in Russell to figure it out. But anyways, yeah, I think you got to take Sean Payton versus Josh McDaniels, and since it's gone down to 3, it makes me happier. I just don't really understand it.
Yeah, we're rolling with the Broncos minus 3, so we'll keep an eye out on how those two turn out. We'll see if something was cooking that we weren't expecting. But
Right.
next up, we got the Dolphins at the Chargers. Close matchup. The line did not really move at all in this one either. Two explosive offenses. What are you thinking?
So I said, and if you listen to when we covered all the 1 o'clock games, that there was 2 games that I feel like the line is perfectly set, and it was in the 1 o'clock games. It was Tennessee at Saints, Saints -3, and this one it's the same thing. Dolphins at Chargers. Chargers never really have a home field advantage, but they should be favored by 3. I think that they're the slightly better team at this point. I am taking the points. I'm taking the +3, but the Dolphins did not look good against Brandon Staley's defense last year. So, like I said, it's just not one that I love. But I'm gonna ride with this, and even though it's week 1, like this has a lot of playoff implications. I mean, one of these 2 teams easily can make the wild card, and I'm taking Dolphins +3.
This is an important game for these 2 teams. It's saying, that the spread is basically saying that these 2 teams are even at a neutral field, and this is one where I open my app and it's like right away +3 Dolphins. I'm gonna take that, but I think that's why I ended up flipping on this one. I think the Chargers are finally healthy. The Dolphins are down a man at corner. I think the Dolphins are the public side and the road dog. And I just think something doesn't add up with that, and I'm gonna take the Chargers to take some anger out on the Dolphins for that nasty playoff exit they had versus the Jaguars. Get a little revenge of the way they exited the playoffs last year.
Well, from everything that I've heard is that the Chargers camp has been great. So, like all the scouts and everything said they look like a really really good offense under Kellen Moore. So, but I'm sticking with Mike McDaniel, Tua year 2 versus Kellen Moore, Justin Herbert year 1, and you're giving me 3 points. So, like I said, it's not one that I'm putting a normal amount on. It's one that I'm sprinkling some on because I think the line's set right. But give me the points, and it's a great game to watch. Along with Packers Bears, like I'm very intrigued to see what both of those offenses look like. But I don't really see an edge here.
Yeah, definitely one of the more fun ones to watch. I think we're gonna see how these 2 offenses collide, so it's gonna be cool to watch. We're split on this one, so I think this is one of the first ones we're split on this week.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
I think we've got 2 more in the cards that we're split on. So, starting with the primetime games coming up now, we got the Sunday night football matchup. The NFC East rivals Cowboys going into the Giants' home stadium. Who you got in this one, man?
So it's Giants at home +3.5 Sunday night football. If you listen to the first episode that we posted on YouTube, I do have Dallas as the 1 seed, and then them making it all the way to the Super Bowl from the NFC, represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. So you're like, of course, Tyler's got to be taking Cowboys -3 here. I am not. I am taking Giants +3.5. I like the hook here. It's a divisional game. Brian Daboll versus Mike McCarthy. I like Brian Daboll more in preparation. And like they covered the spread a lot last year because this is a gritty team, and I think they got better. Darren Waller just got downgraded to questionable. I still think he's going to play as of right now. If he doesn't play, I would expect that line to move. So you have all the way until Sunday night just to confirm, because he's a big part of that offense. So, but yeah, 3.5. I got to take the Giants here at home in a divisional game, primetime.
I respect that, but I'm going complete opposite angle here. Like, the Cowboys own the Giants, and Dak does extremely well versus his division rivals. I think he's 24-10 versus the NFC East in his career, and he does better in primetime games. And I expect Dak to come out.
Primetime, those 2 times he lost to the 49ers in the playoffs.
That is very primetime.
That's primetime, man.
That's a key primetime, but primetime could be just Sunday night football on a season opener. That's what we got here too. So I think the Cowboys handle this easily on the road and cover the spread and even win by a touchdown. I'm not really worried about this. I think that the Giants do have the coaching advantage, but personnel wise, there's no way. I'm taking the Cowboys with confidence. I think you can get it -3, so we'll take that.
I think a lot of people are sleeping on the Giants. Personnel wise, I do think Dallas has a better defense. I think they have the best defense in the league this year. They'll have the best defense in the league this year. But the Giants, they have a really good defense too. They've added some weapons. Second year under Brian Daboll. I mean, they're just not a team to be slept on. The only reason I have them not making the playoffs is because they have a crazy hard schedule this year. It's a very difficult schedule. So, but home opener. I do. I like the hook. You got to give me the hook in a divisional game. You know me. I'm going to take home dogs, home divisional dogs. So, and especially with a good offensive coach and Brian Daboll. So, we split.
We're split. Another swing game for us. All right, then the last one, we got Monday Night Football, another marquee matchup. We got the Bills on the road trying to knock the Jets block off first game of the season. What happens in this one? What's your game script? Give me your game script for Aaron Rodgers, game one. All the hype, all the pressure. Let's hear it.
So right now it is sitting at plus 2.5. I think sharp-sided money will come in on the Bills. I think that we will finally get that 3 number. As soon as it hits 3, it'll probably drop right back down to 2.5 because pros will come in and grab the 3. This is the trap game of the week, unfortunately. Brady, when he joined the Bucs, had a divisional game, went to New Orleans, first drive, scored a touchdown. Everybody's like, man, Brady with the Buccaneers. The Saints ended up winning that game 34-23. But what's different about Brady and Aaron? Brady is a grinder. He develops chemistry with his team, good teammate, good leader. And so they went into that year, they went all the way to the bye. And then from the bye, after the bye, they didn't lose a game and won the Super Bowl because that's what Tom is. Aaron, he's just a freak talent. And this is all we're going to hear next week is how the Jets beat the Bills on Monday Night Football. People's going to be overreacting, but the Bills are still going to win this division. The Jets will still miss the playoffs because they'll go on a 3-4 game losing streak, and panic will be setting in for the head coach, Aaron, media, New York will go crazy. But it's scripted. Jets win first game at home against a divisional game, and they played the Bills very well last year without a competent quarterback. And it's in New York. Like I said, I think you can, if you wait until Monday night, at some point you will get the 3 points. I don't see it going the other direction whatsoever, unless some like weird thing happens the day before to one of the players or something, like somebody loses a family member and Stephon Diggs can't make the game or something. I'm not wishing that on them, but like I'm just saying, like that's the only thing that, because they're not really going to be practicing between now and then. So Friday to Monday night. So, but yeah, you got to take the trap here. That's Jets plus 2.5. I'm fine with it, but I'm waiting on the 3, begging for the 3. But I'm cool with taking 2.5 because I think they're going to win outright, and that's all we're going to hear about all of next week. How Jets won first game with Aaron Rodgers.
In our playoff prediction video, you was putting down the Jets, and then you said the Bills were going to make it to the big game, and you said the Cowboys would make it to the big game, and then you're fading yourself already.
We played the number. We played
brother.
the number. This is a marathon, not a sprint. The Giants play a bunch of tough opponents. The Cowboys, they will get better as the season goes along. They have to learn from Mike McCarthy calling plays. We have to see how that plays out. Are they going to run the ball more? As they don't really have a power running game now that Zeke's gone. It's just Tony Pollard. So we have to see how that unfolds. But and then the same thing, even though Aaron is new with this team and needs to build chemistry, the Bills, they're going to be without Von Miller. They still have a decent pass rush against that weak Jets offensive line. But like I said, it's going to be okay. Bills start off 0-1. Chiefs lost Thursday night. You think they're not making the playoffs?
Oh, absolutely.
They're
making the playoffs, but I think it's the
too.
opposite story. I think the Bills win game 1, and it's a disappointing start for the Jets. And the opposite headline that you're looking for comes out Monday morning.
Yeah. Part of me hopes you're right, because that was my AFC pick, was the Bills to make it to the Super Bowl. But it's you're gonna be wrong, and then every time you click on Fox Sports or ESPN or whatever you use to watch, it's going to be Jets all week, and then Jets go play Dallas next week in Dallas, and Bills, I think they host like the Raiders. and then it's just going to be. I think Dallas will beat the. And we'll next week I'll be taking Dallas over the overhyped Jets, and I'll be taking the Bills to bounce back and like show the world that they're still the best team in the AFCs. But it's gonna happen, man. You watch and see. Jets will win first game.
Bills all day with this new look offense in the Jets. They got no offensive line. The Bills are a more complete team in every facet. It isn't the sharp side, I will say. And you say that it will make it to the 3. I don't think it will, but I still would take the minus
I do.
2.5 on the road. I think it's a disappointing home opener for that Jets offense.
Yeah. I don't know if you can somehow set a notification on your phone, like right when it hits Jets +3, and then go grab it on whatever sportsbook you're using. But I do think that by Monday night, we will see it shift to 3 at some point, and that's when I'm gonna jump on it. But I'm still fine with I'll put a normal amount on the 2.5 because I would like to see the Bills win the game.
So it's
We've
these
been doing this for a long time.
3 games that's going to decide who outperforms who in this first week between me and you. So
Man, we
good
ain't
luck.
worried about
I
that.
feel I feel good, but I am on 3 favorites. So that's not
Yeah,
usually the
I'm
right
on.
move, but hey, I like the teams that I picked. So we'll see how it
I'm on
goes.
a lot of dogs. A lot of dogs.
You
It's
are.
week 1. Nobody knows they're bad yet.
Fair point. I mean, week 1 dogs is usually 100% the move. So
Right. Yeah. But I'm excited. I think we'll have a positive week. If we don't, we'll have to show face on here next week in our first episode when we recap all of our picks and how we done, who was right between those 3 games that we disagreed on between me and Justin. And then that's when we'll give our Thursday night pick. And then we're going to be doing this every week for the rest of the season. So
yeah.
tune into that episode. Justin, if you'd like, you can shout out the channels.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, and drop a like if you're enjoying the content and you want to see some more stuff like this. Make sure you're subscribed and have notifications on so you can be notified when our picks for week 2 come hot off the press. Good luck betting this week. As always, let's cover the spread, baby. Peace.
Peace.